to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Right to the air is Rodgers.
Open man is Uzama. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
I have to admit I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting...
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Bobby Okereke.
And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line.
Boy, Charles, a lot of action right out of the gate. The two teams barely off the buses. We've already had the touchdown and now the interception.
Yeah, whatever happened to the feeling out process? You know, kind of throw a few jabs out there, kind of circle the ring a little bit. Both of them throwing haymakers right out of the gate. And the second one was an interception that may cost them.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw is Murray. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him. Complete. Touchdown! A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 on the year.
And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And That run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run it again with Cook. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And, Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And, Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
On play action, it's Murray. Looking downfield for Godwin. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Well, still in the first quarter, and look out, I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they're firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. He's at the 40. 20. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers to the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. 21-0 our score after 1. Great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On 24-yard attempt.
This is up and good from Pinheiro. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And some room to maneuver. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
From the 27, Rodgers. A quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Fielded just inside the 30. A nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's a handoff out of the gun. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 and a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, but something like 4 of the last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
That play doomed from the start thanks to the defensive effort of Grady Jarrett.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now on 2nd and 13, Murray. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Murray now. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So everything else is going right in this first half. Kind of follows it with their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, 626.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. Incomplete, right side to Cook. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. To throw is Rodgers. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Michael Gallup from 4 yards out. And the Colts get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they only had the field goal. So that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half. But when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as a head coach? I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 54 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's first and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Murray. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. To throw on second and 10. Murray. Left side here. That's complete to Godwin. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. To throw, it's Murray. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Call it no gain there on the first down play.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Kyler Murray in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. They're just going to run it here up the middle. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, if they score here, this one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
They'll start this drive out on the ground, and this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 109 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time.
Picked up by Trayvon Merrick.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Bobby Okereke.
And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
On the ground, it's Hubbard.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
It's 4th down.
And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
From Viking territory now, they'll come on 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Rodgers now to throw. That's caught once again by Gallup.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. Rodgers to throw once more. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Rodgers going to throw. And now here's another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it, a gain of 12, a big 1st down to get away from the end zone. Straight ahead, and now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Colts pick it up. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that going back and watching tape and being able to say we're that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That's pretty rare that you see a ball game decided by this wide of a margin, and now it gets, Charles, even wider after that pick six. They've done everything right on that sideline.
I think we could safely say that not only is the scoreboard, right, the gap big there, now everyone's just looking for stat padding, right? Do I get a chance to make a big play? Can I get a takeaway? Can I go ahead and put the ball in the end zone? That's what these guys are all talking to each other about now with a lead this big.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Rodgers' throw taken in by Landry. And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 27, Rodgers. And he'll get this one to Cooper, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup at 25.
And the Colts first down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Open man is Uzomah. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And they will take a knee here.
coverage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago. And you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely dream scenario for everyone on that offense. And they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Minnesota, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Got on the ring, stuff. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm painting. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations.